Created with free version for non-commercial use.
Before we move on, here's a quick review of what we've learned in the first section of this course. Number 1, we've learned that HTML is incredibly ubiquitous. It's everywhere. Obviously, every web page is made up of HTML, but even beyond that, once we start talking about device-native apps on your smartphone or your tablet, many of these apps have some sort of HTML rendering engine embedded in them. So there are many times when you probably don't even realize you're viewing HTML content. It's everywhere. Number 2, we learned that web pages are made up of elements, and creating an element is like making a sandwich. The first piece of bread is the start tag, then you include the peanut butter and jelly or the meat, the content, and then you include a second piece of bread, the closing tag. Number 3, we learned that elements can nest or stack inside one another, much like the example of a set of Russian stacking dolls. So to create a bulleted list in HTML, we take multiple list item, li elements, and we nest them inside an unordered list element. Number 4, we learned about document structure. So we learned that all of our web pages have the root element of HTML, and then inside that element we have the head section and the body section. And the body section is where we include content, while the head section is where we include information about the page. Finally, number 5, we learned about HTML attributes. We learned that we can assign attributes to certain HTML elements to make them come alive. In particular, we learned how to use the href attribute on the link element to make our link fully functional. And we discussed that in future lessons we'll learn how to use different attributes on other elements. Just a quick heads up that if you have a spare moment or two, I would really appreciate it if you could go and rate and review this course. I hope you're enjoying the course and finding it helpful, but even if you are not, above all else, an honest review is the best review. And I would love for prospective students to be able to see honest impressions of the course. That concludes this quick review for the first section of the course. I'll see you in the next section.
Created with free version for non-commercial use.